Looking for a crochet stitch that has deep, beautiful texture and can be completed in a multitude of different ways? If you are, the Bobble Stitch and Crochet might just be the one you're looking at. It adds deep, deep texture to your crochet projects. It can be completed in a lot of different ways. If you're ready to learn, let's grab a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. So for the Bobble Stitch, I'm going to show you the basics of how to create the Bobble Stitch itself, and then I'm going to show you a few different variations of how you can put this together for your crochet projects. So you might have it offset with some rows in between, or you might have it offset where it's close together. You might want to crochet it where it's even and there's rows in between, or you may want to crochet it where it's even and there's not very much distance in between the rows. I'm going to show you all these variations and how to actually bobble stitch itself in today's tutorial. To begin, I personally am going to use a size J 6.0 millimeter crochet hook here for this tutorial. I'm going to use some size 4 medium weight yarn in this teal color. You're going to need a pair of scissors and you're going to need a yarn needle for weaving in ends at the end. Use what works best for you. Today's tutorial is written using US crochet terms. So I'm going to start off with the close together even spacing of the bobbles, and I'm going to show you how to bobble stitch itself while using this version, and then I'll quickly walk you through the other looks for this same stitch. But we're going to start off with this variation. No matter which variation you choose, you're going to begin by chaining in a multiple of 4. So I'm going to begin by chaining 12. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And if you need to see how to chain in slower, more detailed moves, you can check out a link to a video I have below. That takes it a lot slower and in more details. And again, no matter which version you choose, for row 1, it's going to be a row of single crochet stitches. And you're going to begin by working into the second chain from the crochet hook. And into that second chain from the crochet hook, you're going to work a single crochet. And then you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So again, row 1, no matter which version you choose, is a row of single crochet stitches. So again, you can see that I've been working single crochets into each chain stitch across. I have a couple left here, so I'm going to complete my row here with these last 2 single crochets into these last 2 chains. And that completes row 1, a row of single crochet stitches. Again, this works for whichever version you choose. So for this version, for row 2, you begin by chaining 1 and turning your work. You're going to work a single crochet in the first stitch, a single crochet in the second stitch, and a single crochet in the third stitch. So you start off with 3 single crochet stitches. Now into this fourth stitch, we're going to work our first bobble stitch. Now a bobble stitch is in essence a double crochet 5 together. So that's what makes it so big and makes it stick out so much, is because it's 5 double crochets worked together. So how do we do this? We yarn over, we insert into the chain, we yarn over, pull through the chain. Now there's 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there's 2 loops on the hook. We've partially completed 1 double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over, go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now there's 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I have partially completed 2 double crochets, so here's 1 and 2. This is just the loop from my completed single crochet. So we have 2 double crochets here together right now. We're going to repeat again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there's 4 loops on my hook and I've completed 1, 2, and 3 partial double crochets. We're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now there are 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there are 5 loops on the hook, and I have partially completed 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we don't count this first loop as a double crochet. So we have 1 more to go. So we yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now there are 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there are 6 loops on my hook, and if you don't count that first loop here in that single crochet, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets that we're going to now work together. So to finish this bobble stitch or this double crochet 5 together, we're simply going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops on the hook to complete that bobble stitch, that double crochet 5 together. Now in the next stitch, we're going to place a single crochet in the next one, and a single crochet in the next one. So we're going 3 single crochets. In the next stitch, we're again going to bobble stitch into that. So we yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there's 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 5 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 of them. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I've got 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I've got 6 loops on my hook. That's when I know I'm ready to complete this stitch. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and that completes the bobble stitch. You do that until you have 3 stitches remaining, and you are going to end with a bobble stitch here, and then in the last 3 stitches you're going to place single crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now if you notice, you can't really see anything going on from the back side. There's a little bit of a hole here, but if I flip it over, you can see those beautiful bobbles on that side. Now we're ready for row 3. For row 3, we begin by chaining 1 and turning our work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run a row of single crochet stitches. If you need to see how to single crochet and slower, more detailed moves, I've got a link to a video for that below. But we do a row of single crochet stitches because the bobble stitch is a very one-sided crochet stitch. If I were to do a row of bobbles here, I would have them poking to the back, and it really gives you a weird looking fabric. So what we do to keep all of our bobbles on the same side is we alternate a row of bobble stitches with a row of single crochet stitches. So I am simply placing 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Now make sure you're catching the top of the bobble. It really kind of floats to the back of this bobble. So you have to make sure you come back there and find it to single crochet into it, otherwise your stitch count is going to be off. So again, make sure you're finding the top of that bobble stitch when you're running your row of single crochet stitches. So we have 3 left here. So there's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and 3 single crochet stitches. And that completes row 3. Now to continue this pattern looking like this, you are simply going to alternate row 2 and row 3 for as big as your project is going to be. I would recommend ending with a row 3 because that's your row of single crochet stitches, and then that's going to give your project a look that looks similar. Your bottom edge is going to look the same as the top edge if you end with a row 3. This is the next variation of the bobble stitch that I'm going to show you. Now this one puts a little more space in between your row of bobbles. The previous row, they were stacked right on top of each other. Here, now you have a little bit of space. They're still even, so you don't have any offset of the bobbles. They're lined up right on top of each other, but you do have more space in between them. So let me show you how you work this sample. Like I previously stated, you need to begin by chaining a multiple of 4, so I'm going to chain 12, which is going to be my multiple of 4. For row 1, I'm still going to work into the second chain from the hook and into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to place a single crochet stitch. So I'm going to place a single crochet stitch into each chain stitch across. So again, row 1 is a row of single crochet stitches. So there's my completed row 1, all single crochet stitches. Now for the variation of the bobble stitch where there's more distance but they're evenly spaced, you still chain 1 and turn. And row 2 is exactly like the row 2 of the other version. So we're going to start by placing a single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, and 3 single crochet stitches. Just like the previous version, we're going to work a bobble in the next one. The technique stays the same. So you yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 6 loops on your hook. Complete the stitch by yarning over and pulling through all 6 loops to complete that bobble stitch. And then you repeat 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, and then bobble stitch in the next one. Now we're ready to complete this bobble stitch. And then again, you end your row with 3 single crochet stitches. So here is 1, 2, and 3. And that completes row 2. Now I just want to point out, if you notice your work starting to curl a little bit, it does that. Those bobble stitches kind of tend to pull in a little bit, but if you do a little bit of stretching of your work, it'll lay nice and flat for you. So don't worry if your work is starting to curl. That's really actually quite common for this stitch. Just kind of stretch it out a little bit and it'll lay nice and flat for you. Now for this version, we're going to do 3 rows of single crochets right in a row. So row 3, 4, and 5 are all rows of single crochet, and that's going to give us some distance there. So again, row 3, just like the last version, it's a row of single crochet stitches. So you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Again, making sure to catch the top of that bobble stitch. It kind of likes to curl towards the back. Make sure you're catching that, and every single top of the stitch across. Otherwise, your stitch count is going to be off. And here's the last stitch for the row. And that completes row 3. Row 4 is yet again a chain 1, turn, and place 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So again, another full row of single crochet stitches. And that completes row 4. For row 5, you chain 1 and turn, and 1 more row of single crochet stitches across. So this row is our final row of single crochet stitches across. So 1 single crochet in each stitch across, and that completes row 5. Now row 6 we get back and we repeat row 2. So for this version, you're just going to repeat row 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back to 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're repeating rows 2 through 5 for this. So row 2 again, you start off with 3 single crochets, and then you bobble stitch. And then you do 3 more single crochets, and then you bobble stitch. You end the row with 3 single crochet stitches. So that's how you would complete this version of the bobble stitch. Again, for this version where you have more space in between your bobbles, I would still end with a repeat of row 3. I would not end with a row 4 or row 5 repeat because, again, I want my bottom and my top to look pretty similar. So I would end this version of the bobble stitch with a row 3 repeat, which is your first row of single crochet stitches right after a row of bobble stitches. So now I'm going to show you how to do some offset bobble rows. So what do I mean by offset? These bobbles are not lined up in neat rows like they were for the previous two versions. They are instead, you're kind of alternating each row. They're kind of weaving back and forth. So I'm going to show you this version here where there's a little bit of space in between those offset bobbles. Just like every single one of the previous versions, you need to begin by chaining a multiple of 4. My multiple of 4 is still going to be 12. And just like all of the other ones, you're going to begin by working into the second chain from the hook. You're going to place a single crochet in it, and you're going to place one single crochet in each stitch or in each chain across, and that's going to be your row 1, is simply a row of single crochet stitches. For row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn. Row 2 stays the same as all the other versions, where you begin by single crocheting in the first 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then in the 4th stitch, you bobble stitch. And just like you have been, it's a double crochet, 5 together. You're ready to yarn over and pull through all the loops when you have 6 loops on your hook. So again, you're double crocheting 5 together, but there are 6 loops because that last single crochet loop is always on your hook as well. And then you yarn over, pull through all of them to complete it. Then you alternate with 3 more single crochets. Then you bobble stitch. And then you end the row with 3 single crochet stitches. And that completes row 2. Now the offset bobble version where there's more distance in between the rows is exactly the same as the even bobble version where there was more distance between the rows. So again, for those, what you're going to do is we're now going to rows 3, 4, and 5 do rows of single crochet. So row 3 is a row of simple single crochet stitches in each stitch across. So 1 single crochet in each stitch across for row 3. And that completes row 3, all single crochet stitches. Row 4 is exactly the same. You chain 1 and you turn, and you place 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch across. Now I want to point out why we have to do 3 rows of single crochet. With 1 row of single crochet in between, your bobbles are stacked right on top of each other. With 2 rows of single crochet, if I were to work a bobble stitch at this point, my bobbles would be pointing to the wrong side of my work. So I have to do another row of single crochet. That's why we have 3 rows of single crochet here, because we need to make sure our bobbles stay on the same side. And to get enough distance between them, we have to have more than 1 row. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's why we have 3 rows of single crochet if you want more space in between your rows of bobbles. So this is a completed row 5, the last row of all single crochet stitches. So 2 is my bobble stitch like I've normally been doing. 3, 4, and 5 are all rows of single crochet stitches. Now to get the offset row, in row 6, you chain 1 and you turn. You're going to start by placing a single crochet in the first stitch, and then in the second stitch, you're going to work your first bobble stitch. So in the second stitch, instead of going into the 4th stitch, so we're going to work into the second stitch, we're going to place a bobble stitch, and we're going to work it with the same technique that we've been doing as we have before. After completing that bobble, then you're going to place 3 single crochet stitches. Then you bobble stitch. Here's 2 double crochets, 3 partial double crochets, 4 partial double crochets, 5 partial double crochets, finish them together. Then we place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. You should have 2 stitches left when you get to the end of your row. In the second to last stitch, you're going to bobble stitch just like you have been. There's a second partial, third partial, fourth partial, and fifth partial double crochet. I'll work them all together, and then we end the row with one singular single crochet stitch. And that completes row 6. Now rows 7, 8, and 9 are just like 3, 4, and 5. They're rows of single crochet. So 7, 8, and 9 are all rows of single crochet stitches. So just one single crochet in each stitch across. So there's a completed row 7, and you can see here how now my bobbles are offset because row 2 is different than row 6. So for row 8, it's another row of one single crochet in each stitch across. You start by chaining one and turning, and then you place one single crochet in each stitch across. And that completes row 8. Row 9, you chain one and you turn, and yet again you place one single crochet in each stitch across. And that completes row 9. Now at this point, you would go all the way back and you're going to repeat row 2. And then you're going to alternate rows 2 through 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go back and repeat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're just going to do that until you're ready to end your project. Now to end your project, yet again, I would either end with a row 3, which is the first row of single crochets after row 2, or I would end with a row 7, which is the first row of single crochets after row 6. So end the offset bobbles that have some space in between them, end them with either a row 3 or a row 7, the first row of single crochets after a row of bobble stitches. All right, and last but certainly not least, probably my favorite way to lay out the bobble stitch is the offset bobble rows with just a single row of singular crochets in between them. So they're a lot closer together than they were in the previous version, but they're still offset. So it kind of gives this fun, almost like woven look to it. So this is my favorite version, and I'll show you how to complete this version. Just like all the previous rows, you need to begin by chaining a multiple of 4. Yet again, I have chained 12. Row 1 is exactly the same as well. I begin by working in the second chain from the hook. I'm going to place a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then I'm going to place a single crochet in each chain across. So row 1, yet again, is a row of single crochet stitches. And that completes row 1, all single crochet stitches. Row 2 is exactly the same as it has been for all of the versions, so you should notice that each version, row 2 is exactly the same as well. So row 2, you chain one and you turn, and then you begin by placing one single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. Into the 4th stitch, you work your first bobble stitch, so there's 1 partial, 2 partials, 3 partials, 4, and 5 partial double crochet stitches. We're going to work them all together, and then we repeat 3 single crochet stitches, and then a bobble stitch in the next. And we'll do that until we have 3 stitches remaining for the row. So I'll finish this bobble stitch here. So yet again, you'll have 3 stitches remaining, so you're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the remaining 3 stitches to complete row 2. And that completes row 2. One thing you should also notice is row 3 is exactly the same for this stitch as well. So all the versions, rows 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same. For row 3, we simply chain 1 and turn, and then we place 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch across. So again, row 3 is all single crochet stitches. This helps us again keep our bobbles all on the same side of our work because they definitely pop out to one side and we definitely want them to stay on one side. And that completes row 3. Now for this version, for row 4, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. In the first stitch, we're going to place a single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to work a bobble stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 partial double crochets. We'll work them together to create the bobble. Then we go 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we work a bobble stitch. So here's 1 partial double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Work them all together. Then we go 3 more single crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now when we have 2 stitches remaining, we work a bobble stitch in the first. So here's a bobble stitch going into this first stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5 partial double crochets, finish to the bobble, and then we place a regular single crochet in the very last stitch. And that completes row 4. Row 5, we chain 1 and we turn, and then we're going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So row 5 is a row of single crochets. It's just like row 3 where we place 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Here's our final single crochet for the row. And that completes row 5. So then for this version, you would just alternate row 2, 3, 4, and 5, go back 2, 3, 4, 5 until your project is where you want it to be. Again, I would end this version with either a row 3 or a row 5, so I would end it with that row of single crochet stitches. So either row 3 or row 5 is how I would end this version of the bobble stitch. And I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos. And if you're looking for another deeply textured crochet stitch, you could check out my tutorial for the honeycomb stitch right here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.